Audio, video, all good. Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is Ashish Kyal here. Welcome again to Neowave News channel by Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul, a learning series by wavestrategy.com. And the reason that it is a Thursday at 4 and not a Friday at 4 that we normally have is because tomorrow at 5 p.m. we have a we have a book launch. I have put a huge amount of effort along with my co-author, and we have done something over the past few years in order to get this book out. And finally, the day has arrived when tomorrow at 5 p.m. we have a book launch globally. And it will be great that each one of you can please join in for that event. You can simply go to wavestrategy.com and register for that event. My colleague has shared across the link. Please ensure you go and register there. Indrajit is saying this is our Bible. Uh, I'm not sure if that's a Bible, but I'm pretty sure I put in a lot of efforts that I teach each of my mentee, each of my trainee, each on every aspect of webinar, whatever I have done so far over the period of years is put across in that book. The reason for writing a book was very clear mandate that we wanted to showcase to the world technical analysis work and work and works across the time frames, across the asset, whether it is a 1987 crash or it's a 2008 crash or it's a 2020 crash. Each of these crashes are highly correlated and linked. If you go and check inside the book, you will find your answers there, irrespective of the pandemic. The markets have been behaving exactly the way it was in 1987, and that's a very clear explanation given across with intermarket analysis and a lot of those things. So do ensure that you join me tomorrow for that webinar, and there is a special authors discount also available when you purchase it tomorrow itself. So we are working out a lot this webinar, all of those things will be worked out. So you will be getting the book pricing is Indian pricing is 995 rupees, plus there will be a 20% discount that you get tomorrow. And we are also planning to give away something more along with that. So do ensure that you are there for that event. It's starting at 5, it's online, and it's on GoToWebinar at 5 p.m. It's not on Zoom, it's on GoToWebinar, it's not on YouTube, and it is going to be at 5, right from 5 till 6, so it's not going to consume too much of your time. We will be talking about the book. It will be joined by Akshay Chinchalkar from Bloomberg, Smita Roy Trivedi from NIBM, and I will be there discussing on the panel about the markets, about the book, and a lot of those pages. So the Indian pricing, the links, the Indian pricing in 995 tomorrow. The links will be open on Amazon, on the publishing website, publishing house website, all of those places. So do not worry about it. If you are not able to get in that, you can still be able to fill up the form on trivedikyal.com. Trivedikyal.com is the book website where you can fill the form, and the publishing house will get in touch with you in case you are having any trouble getting in tomorrow. But if you don't get in tomorrow, I'm not sure if we are able to extend the offer on the book which we are launching tomorrow to each one of you. So ensure you get your copy and order your copy tomorrow itself. It will be delivered after a few weeks, maybe a week or two. Because of the COVID, the delivery is going to take some time to start with, but I'm assuming it's going to be a beautiful journey for you. And it has explained right from a very in-depth level, from the basics of technical analysis. Right from there, we have started to the Elliott waves, to the Neowave diametric pattern in a way, and combining all of those together along with time cycles and some kind of a stock selection methods. A lot of things have been put across. So it's going to be a wonderful read. I'm pretty sure about it. So we will open up the registrations tomorrow. The pricing tomorrow, registrations are pre-orders are still open on trivedikyal.com. So you can simply go to wavestrategy.com and do it from this banner. If you click on the banner, you are directed directly to the registration page. You can do that. Okay, wonderful. So far, so good. Let us try and understand what's happening with the market. And let me stop the screen sharing. Here I am, and it has been a very hectic week for me, given a lot of events happening. I'm speaking at Edelweiss also on Saturday. I am doing a couple of interviews also, so lots happening around that front. I was in ET now today. In fact, I was on Founder India also, and it has worked out fabulously. So I talked about happening, and it has worked out fabulously. So far so good. So let us just try and understand by doing our polling and seeing what do you think is the market heading from here on. Can we do that? Here is the poll in front of you. Meanwhile, I'll keep answering. There are a few questions which are coming up. How many pages is the book? Srinivas is a question on how many pages is the book. So look at this book as something, not as something that you have to mandatorily cover, but as a journey for a trader from right from the scratch till the end. So the book is approximately, I think, 300 pages. So that's the number of pages. Rohit saw, okay, I saw you on ET now. Thank you very much. Vaishali, the price is 995 rupees. It will be at a discounted price tomorrow. I am not guaranteeing anything. The publishing house will decide that. But yes, we are trying to push for a discount tomorrow. So if you are there on board, you will get a discount for that. Today we are going to talk about the markets, but let's just do the polling first. Let's everyone participate in the polling and let's see what everyone has to say. It's a very interesting polling. It has been shifting from the up towards the downside. I'm not going to give you exact statistics. I don't want to polarize the poll, but yes, there is some shift which we are seeing. So let us just see what's happening. I'm going to close this poll in next 1 minute, and we are going to do that. Meanwhile, yes, I answered. The number of pages for the book is around 300 approximately. Okay. Uh, Advanced students of technical analysis, yes, the book is for you. Do we have an electronic version of the book? Yes, we do have an electronic version of the book, but unfortunately, the pricing of the electronic version of the book is set as per London pricing. It is not so far in Indian pricing because the Kindle edition and the electronic version is set for the global pricing. There is no Asia specific pricing for the electronic version. That's the problem. So we are trying to figure out if that is a possibility, but it looks like bleak. And I would always prefer getting a hard copy of the book myself because that's how it is valuable. So these are the books which are very valuable. I suppose a lot of efforts and years of hard work has gone into it. Uh, Let me now just stop the poll. Perfect. And here is the polling in front of you that you can clearly see. We have 39% of the people who have marked it for the up move and 61% of the people have marked it for the downtrend. Now that's very interesting. Anyone remembers what was the polling on the last time of Friday that we did? Okay, so this is Friday at 4, but today is Thursday. That's the thing, because tomorrow at 5 we have a book launch event happening and every one of you have to ensure you join me there. It's very important event for me, and if you like the webinars, please do join me there. So that's the polling, and the last week was, Rakesh is saying 52 up and 48 down exactly. Okay, so that was a very interesting polling, and now we have a 39% up and 61% people expecting a down move. Now, with the today's movement, there is a very important a change that has happened. Very important change. There is one aspect of it. 11,650 had been a very crucial level, but yes, it was too far away. If you remember, I have talked about a level around 11,800, 850, if that is correct, and that has been broken decisively, and it has come out extremely well, right? You got nearly around 200 points from that level itself on the downside. What has happened in this week is there is a tug of war which is happening between the bulls and the bears. Every time the market goes down, there is an attempt to buy the dips. That's what we are seeing even today in the final hour of closing. We saw some attempt of buying emerging during the final 30 minutes of the closing. However, what is happening, each of these buying is getting sold into. Okay, it is very important that each of these buying is now getting sold into, because if you look at those candles are getting eaten up. So the bears are trying to take control of the market right now, and it's very important. We have seen yesterday's sell-off was a very deep sell-off which resulted into faster retracement of the last rising segment. Now that is a two-stage confirmation as per Neowave that the ongoing move is probably complete. Now that's what I'm again talking about. Last, I'm going to share across the chart, so do not worry about it. The last rising segment is retraced back in faster time. That indicates that the last rising segment retraced back in faster time indicates that the move on the upside near the level that we saw yesterday's high of 11,900 is probably complete. So that is a very important information. Next, majority has been expecting that the US election, post US election, there is going to be a crash or a rise. I think before the US election, the markets are going to move. This is going to happen before US election because everyone is waiting for the outcome of the result. I think whatever is going to happen will happen before the US election. Whenever majority expects something, market does not do that. That's a very important thing. Next, it is a very high possibility that Trump might win. That is my take looking at the markets. Yes, the market acts as a socioeconomic barometer. It acts as a signal of what is the overall social mood. And that signaling method acts as a barometer. And Proctor has done a fabulous work on that front. So he is expecting that it might be Trump who might win. I have been I've been listening to Larry Williams. He expects Trump might win. My take is Trump might win. So that is what we expect. It seems that before his victory, there can be a correction. Post that happening, there will be a pullback and then a big correction coming in next nearly around 3 months of time or 1 month of time. I do not know that. So timing is always a challenge. Let us now look on the charts and see what is happening. I'm going to hide myself from here. This is the candlestick chart. If you look at this chart, a very simple daily chart, let us try and understand what's happening, what's going on in the minds of the trader. Do you remember, every one of you, I want you to participate in this webinar. I don't want the only one who is speaking. I want everyone to participate. What was the level we discussed on the top is going to be very crucial for the market. Over past nearly around 2-3 weeks, we have been talking about that level, and we have talked about that level basis of volume at price chart. Do you appreciate how brilliant it has worked? Okay, thank you very much, Darpan, Ravi, Shilpa, Subhash, Chaitanya. Brilliant. 12,025 and 12,025 is the level which Nifty did not breach even once post this big bear candle was formed. So that's very, very important. Post that, there has been an attempt for the bulls to come in and try to take on the market on the upside. However, if you are looking at this entire trend on the upside, the markets have failed miserably. It has gone up. So there has been an attempt of the selling and then the buying emerging again. Again a sell and then the buy emerged. Again a sell and then the buy emerged. Again a sell and some attempt of buying emerging. Now, can you tell me one thing? In this attempt of buying and selling, whom do you think, by looking at this chart right now, who do you think is possibly winning in this kind of a tug of war which is currently happening as of now, looking at this specific chart? Can I say the sellers are having upper hand? Why? If you have attended my Saturday free webinar on candlestick, I have done some very interesting perception analysis using candlestick. I have not talked about like a bearish engulfing or a bullish engulfing or a morning or an evening star. I have talked about perception. How do you derive perception? I've talked about market profile using candlestick. Okay, that is what I am trying to do. I'm trying to suggest that there has been a selling by the bears, attempt by the bulls on the upside, again a big attempt by the bears on the downside, and the bulls are finally giving it a shot. It is finally trying to pull on the upside, trying to give it a shot, but it's just not happening. It's just not happening. Even today there was an attempt from the opening, but it has failed to do that right now. It has failed to go above this have. So now the low which is formed around 11,600 level is going to be a very, very important low. 11,600 is going to be the crucial level that you have to keep a watch on the downside. If 11,600 is breached on the downside, there is a very severe possibility we might have completed either an E, and we might have be starting a wave F on the downside, or E of an expanding triangle cannot be ruled out. So very crucial. However, if the bulls try and come back on tomorrow's session and we see a strong bullish candle, if the bulls come back and we see a strong bullish candle, most importantly, we have to keep a watch on this level, whether it is managing to cross back above this level of 11,900 on the upside or not. Okay, so 11,600 is the lower end of the range, 11,900 is the range. The daily bias remains negative unless I see a close above the prior day's high. This is a very simple technique I'm talking, no complication, simply looking at the bar techniques. So we are going to keep a close watch tomorrow. From here on, if the low gets broken on the downside, I think we are headed for a much, much bigger decline. Let us now try and understand what is the wave pattern that is being seen on the chart. I've also published on wavestrategy.com a research about 3 days back on Nifty topping cycle. Anyone is aware about that research? Hourly cycle, I have talked about how Nifty is topping out in that specific area and zone, and it has brilliantly managed to protect. Okay, I can see many of you have read that article. So ensure you keep reading these articles. There is a lot of insights into that. Also remember, this is a free webinar. I'm nowhere recommending anything, and we are a SEBI registered research analyst. So we are not recommending anything on this webinar. This is purely from learning perspective only. Whatever you do, you need to do your own homework and take a trade. Okay, so the article is, if you go on wavestrategy.com, go to stocks. Over there, you will see Nifty hourly topping cycle as the name, wavestrategy.com. And if you go there, you will see Nifty hourly cycle, and you should read that article. It has worked out brilliantly. Okay, so you can do that, or you can get access to the morning daily research report, financial wave short-term update, in which I keep mentioning about this. Okay, let's just move on further now from here on and try and look at what is happening with the overall wave pattern that we have been trying to see over here. Sure. So we can clearly see my team is suggesting that the webinar is only for 30 minutes. I should ensure I don't overshoot because I have another meetings lined up. I always overshoot my timelines when I'm speaking. I'm aware of that. So let's just look at what is the overall pattern and where do we think the markets, what do we think the markets are doing. I think this was wave X. Okay, this was an A. Over here was a B, a C, a D here, and this was wave E, which gone on the upside. If I connect the levels together over here and I connect the tops, what I can clearly see is that wave D was bigger than wave B, wave C was bigger than wave A, and wave E had been bigger than wave C in a way. Now, if during such kind of instances, what happens is this kind of a pattern where every leg is expanding is called as an expanding triangle. Okay, each of these legs are expanding on the upside and on the downside. So these patterns are called as an expanding triangle pattern. It's very, very important pattern. You understand this pattern very clearly. In an expanding triangle pattern, as per the rules of Neowave, you will not see the faster retracement below 10,800. It's not necessary that 10,800 will be taken out faster. It might be taken out slower also. That's a possibility when we talk about an expanding triangle pattern. This way we got completed at this point of time. That's an assumption right now. And what if it has completed around this point of time? What we are going to see is either a formation which looks like a hut. I call it as a hut pattern. It also is a diametric pattern. So there is a possibility we might see a diametric pattern and then a bigger correction, or an expanding triangle is complete, and we might see a bigger correction which has started on the downside. This outlook remains valid as long as we do not see the breach of the first line of attack, which is 11,900, and the final line in the sand is 12,025 levels. If this get breached on the upside now, it will indicate that the bears have miserably failed again to create any kind of a bearish attempt on the market. So you need to ensure the move on the upside does not cross these two levels. Very, very important. If it crosses, you might see the mania continues. But if it fails, many of the Robinhood traders who have tried to enter the market are going to be running for covers, that is for sure. They are going to be taken for a big surprise, and they will realize how important it is in markets to use risk management. Very, very crucial. In fact, in my mentorship program, the first thing that I cover is risk management, how to apply a stop loss based on volatility of the market. If the volatility of market is 150 points and you use a stop loss of 60, 70 points, you are going to be just whipsawed around it. Many a times, have you not observed that if your the stop loss get triggered and then the market moves in your favor? Okay, that's because you have used a wrong stop loss. That's very, very crucial. You need to understand that very importantly. Am I making sense to you right now? So this is what the markets are looking like, and there is some pleasurable chirping of birds that I can hear. Probably you can hear that too, and it's a wonderful place. So I'm at Cloud9 at my resort in Lonavala, and it's a wonderful place. You can listen to all the birds chirping around, and I was focusing on the chart, but the bird wants me to focus on them. So excuse me for that. Okay, that's a call for some water. Okay, okay, let's get back to work. Over here, I'm saying that the markets have closed at a very important juncture. This is the overall wave pattern I'm seeing right now. And if you look at let's try and look at a weekly chart. I've not looked at a weekly chart as of now. Let's just try and look at a weekly chart. Let me remove all the labels. On the weekly chart, okay, on the weekly chart here, we have seen some kind of a bullish attempt, but it's getting eaten up by the bears. So the low of this is going to be important. So low of today is going to be crucial. There is some kind of a huge move on the upside, an attempt by the bulls, and now the bears are trying to come back. Let us see if that happens or does not happen. So weekly chart is definitely at a cusp. Very importantly, the monthly one, we have seen a big shadow on the upside so far, which means that the attempt by the bulls is failing on the upside. The daily is bearish as of now, and let's check on the hourly chart. The hourly also shows a gap down attempt, again a move on the downside. So bulls have the last chance tomorrow. If they manage to come back, we might be stuck in a range, but if they fail, then you have to run for cover. So for me, the markets will remain sell on rise unless and until I see a decisive level being taken out. Am I making sense to you? So that's how I am looking at the market. This is what I am seeing on the charts using the Neowave theory, using the candlestick method. Lots happening around. Ensure you also keep looking at it. So before, let me take a few questions. Along with the questions, I'm going to launch one more poll. Will you want to register for a book launch? If yes, then you need to go on the link of this, and my colleague will share across the link. Because we will not be able to add you, but yes, do participate in the poll so I know you are interested, and we can share across this with the publishing house, and they might try to get in touch with you for the book. So if you are interested for the book launch, please do go there and click on that link. Thanks, Kalpana, for sharing it across. Click on that link and ensure you register for the event tomorrow. Very, very important, and you can get a lot of things from there. Okay, I'm going to end the poll here. And also one very important aspect, let me launch one more poll, which is on the mentorship. So we have a mentorship program which is coming on the November 21st is the launch of the mentorship program, 3 months of mentorship, where I am going to be discussing a lot of these methods how to perceive market, how to look at it, how to understand the markets, what is the stop loss targets, how to look at Neowave, Elliott waves, anything and everything if you want to become a better trader. So if you are interested, please do ensure you are joining me as soon as possible, because we are having only limited seats and we are not taking everyone and anyone for this November batch. That is for sure. Okay, I'm going to take a few questions here. And also, before I take the questions, do ensure you subscribe on the YouTube channel at the rate Kyalashish, and the Twitter at the rate Kyalashish. Again, keep tweeting across, keep sharing your views, your questions. I will answer them on the Twitter. That's the fastest way. Okay, why did market did not fall big in spite of do sleeping 300 points yesterday? Akhil Rana has a question on that. Why क्यों गिरा नहीं markets? We need to ask markets for that. Okay, why it hasn't fallen? Because there are a lot of people who are no voice are entering the market at this point of time. I don't think smart money will be investing in the market given the P ratio about 34, 35, right? So that's very, very important for you to understand. And it was an expiry day. We did not see much attempt on the upside anyways. Srinivas excited about the book. Thanks for the effort. Thank you very much. How you cracked CMT? Okay, you really think that CMT is something to crack? It was done way back in 2008, Goku, if that's your name, and I did all the three levels of CMT in 1 year of time. It's pure passion. There's nothing you can do about it. It's pure passion. Uh, okay, I'm going to stop the poll. I'm going to turn on my cam right now so that you can see me, and I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then my team said I am time up, so I'll answer 2 or 3 more questions before we wind up for the day. Global markets, especially Europe, are melting down. Should we take it as signal for a further correction or a crash? Absolutely, we shall. When the global market collapse happens, like in 2008, like in March 2020, it's a very important sign, because in a systematic sell-off, nothing works. Whether it's a government policy, whether it's any kind of actions that someone is trying to take to revive the economy or the market, it is futile. It does not work. So global market sell-off is a very important way of looking at it. How to trade in such market? Vinith has a question. The best way to trade in such market is to understand these methods, understand the wave patterns, understand the cycles that are working, understand the topping cycles that we apply, all of those things. So maybe join the mentorship program. That's the best way you can learn. Your training is helpful for the intraday? Absolutely. So these things are fractal. If you understand fractal nature, for example, if you're not keeping well, you can go to a pathology and a drop of your blood can be taken, and the lab will tell you what's wrong with your entire body, which means that drop of the blood represents your entire physicality. Same thing with stock market. What is happening on the smallest time frame is connecting together to form a bigger time frame movement. And if that is the case, it is suggesting that the markets are fractal. The smallest element is nothing but represents even the bigger time frame. So whatever methods we do is applicable on intraday, on positional, across time frames. It does not really matter. Okay. View on Reliance. Sorry, I'm not talking stock specific on this program. And why do I think Trump will win? Biden having a huge lead over the Trump. I think Trump will win because the stock market have managed to sustain at a very elevated levels over the period of past 2 years. Statistically, that is a positive emotional social mood. And during a positive social mood, there is a very high possibility that people will tend to elect the ones which have been already in the power, with assumption that they have been doing a good work overall. When there is a distress and a very huge negative social mood, we see a huge change in the power. So that's how the entire social mood works. View on Reliance. For that, you need to get access to my equity research report in the morning. Okay, there are many questions. Sorry, I'll not be able to do that right now, and I'm not going to take those questions. And thank you very much for joining me today. on Thursday at 4 instead of Friday at 4. If you like this webinar, do click on that YouTube. If you're live on YouTube, click on that subscribe button, share it across with your friends, and ensure that you join me tomorrow for the webinar. It's not a Zoom invite. You will get an invite from GoToWebinar. You just have to click and you will be set to join tomorrow at 5. It's a big day for me, and you guys are the reason why I was motivated enough to write a book like this. Okay, so do ensure every one of you are here for that great grand event, and I do require your wishes, because without that nothing moves. Wishes and blessings are the ones that results into movement of anything and everything. So without that I am nothing. So please ensure your blessings or wishes are with me, and I am looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at that webinar on 5 p.m. And do register from wavestrategy.com and go and click there on the webinar link, and you will be set for everything. If you have any queries or doubts, you can always get in touch with us on 99209 22639, and my colleague Kalpana is going to help you with that. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time and have a wonderful day ahead.